Announcing the commencement of the first purge.
I want you to change the world, and don't think that this is going to happen peacefully or you can do it alone. We need to kill the rich. You get out there, you use your weapons, and you rip Washington apart. You hunt down the billionaires, the bank bosses, the CEOs, the scumbags, and the liars, the governors, the lobbyists, the senators, because they're all the same, and you hang them.
Just remember all the good the purge does.
Good evening, everyone. I don't know what fucking date it is. Let me see here. It is June 14th. June 14th. Alright, so I had a coworker ask me, what do I think the world was going to look like after the New World Order got their way. And my reply after a moment of thinking was China. It will look like China. At least where the serfs or the slaves will be forced to live in their stack 'em and pack 'em high-rise apartments. What do I say that? Well, China is the model for the New World Order, or the kind of government the New World Order would like to create. But they already have it in China. All they have to do is model the United Nations after China. They already have their governmental body formed in the United Nations. So, what I expect it to look like after the 8 billion people have been purged from this planet is China. I expect it to look just like China, only not Chinese. So I've gone through the headlines, and I haven't found anything out of the ordinary. I would just more of the same, you know, more of the same. For example, we still have cops beating man so badly that they were all fired just to be rehired by the system. Just more of the same. Except here's one thing that stuck out to me, and this should really give you an idea as to the competence of your government. But who will build the roads? Domino's launches initiative to fix America's potholes. Not the government, but a fucking fast food restaurant trying to fix the roads. They can't do any worse than the government has. I mean, have you driven down some of these fucking roads lately? You're gonna need a four-wheel drive to get around before too long. Which is why I'm getting a fucking four-wheel drive. For 1 in 3 adults in the U.S. takes medications linked to depression. Prilosec, Zantac, a beta blocker, Xanax for anxiety. Yeah. Yet, I can't smoke my weed in peace. Yet, I can't take a painkiller when my fucking back hurts without being called an opiate addict. Innocent couple held by cops arrested for questioning a dollar Waffle House charge. Boy, you better not fucking question a Waffle House or they will drag you to jail. Department of Justice releases report on Clinton email server investigation. The Department of Justice has released a long-awaited report looking into the FBI's handling of its investigation into the use of a private email server by former Secretary of State Hillary Clinton. Republicans had been impatiently awaiting the release of the report into the law enforcement agency's probe, and recent reports had suggested that Inspector General Michael Horowitz's document would be critical of both the Justice Department itself and the FBI. Hillary Clinton will never go to jail. Do you know why? Because she's a part of the ruling class. The ruling class do not send their own kind to jail. Unless, of course, that individual backstabs them. And of course, our government has officially resumed funding the White Helmets in Syria. Did you know that child sex trafficking is the fastest growing crime as Secret Service agent, teacher, and a teacher is arrested in a massive sting? This week, the U.S. Department of Justice announced the arrest of more than 2,300 suspected child sex offenders, including a member of the U.S. Secret Service, and identified nearly 400 abused children during the 3-month operation that ended in May. Of those arrested, 195 were suspected of producing child pornography or committing child sexual abuse. And each of them motherfuckers should be hung. But they won't be. They'll be given slaps on the wrist, because after all, it's only our children, right? Amazon has already begun automating its white-collar jobs. And then it's your factory jobs, then it's your I don't know, your convenience store jobs. And before you know it, there's just going to be no use for us. How long is that? How far off is that? I bet less than 20 years. If we continue as we are now, say Deagle.com, their projected population for the year 2025 is wrong, and we continue to grow, and we push this AI out there to do our work for us, there will be no use for humans anymore. What are they going to do with us? You know, the conversation has been, has taken place, and they decided that it'd be immoral to let people sit around all day and play their Xbox or smoke their weed. And, well, there's only one thing to do with us. Do you know what that one thing is? It is kill us. Yeah. Kill us. . They are the ruling class. They get to decide who lives and who doesn't. And we should fucking worship them for it. And the UK government decides to make Tommy Robinson vanish. He went to a Muslim prison where not so nice things are going to probably happen to him, all because he wanted to stop Muslim rape gangs. Can you believe the Kim-Trump summit? Look at that shit. Is that something you ever thought you'd see in your life? I didn't. I didn't think the two would ever meet, but there they are, meeting. I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing. We'll find out, won't we? And speaking of find out, the Bilderbergs. Their meeting has taken place, and some unusual people were at the Bilderberg meeting this year, and a lot of people seem to think that it means there's going to be a war, according to who was at this meeting. I don't know all the attendance, but it was a big deal. People that have never been there, or nations, I should say, that's never had people there this time. A lot of big military people, a lot of intelligence types. They were there. So, I mean, it's all moving along nicely for the New World Order. They got their man in there. He's pacifying the right enough for them to get their fucking job done. And that's really what Trump's all about, is pacifying the right, to keep the right at bay while they do their work to take over the planet. Of course, they still have some obstacles, but I do believe Bilderbergs met and decided what they're going to do about these obstacles. Among these obstacles are Russia and Iran. And of course, they already have Russia surrounded by every piece of military equipment and tens of thousands of troops. So, what's the next move going to be? Okay, now this IG report. A lot of people say it's a whitewash of what happened. It's very disappointing. Other people say it's damning. But, again, this is about their own people. And they're not going to do anything to their own people. They've had the evidence for years on the fucking Clinton family and the Bush family. Fuck. Bush's granddad did business with Adolf Hitler during World War II. Through the whole thing. Nothing happened to him. He didn't serve any prison time. He might have had some shit taken from him, but by then, he's already made his fortune. And what they took for him was this, or from him rather, was just a drop in the bucket of his overall assets. No. And these things are not damning. They do not want to damn their own people. And they have no integrity. And they should be the last people for guidance, to seek for guidance. They should be the last people that have oversight over anything, because they are dirty to the core. Our national symbol shouldn't be an eagle. It should be a fucking vulture. Because that's what these people are. Vultures. I don't know. You know what I say. You know what I say. What Bill, my buddy in the intro, says. Now, I could read these articles to you, but I'm not going to. Not in this video. I will probably do a completely separate video on this article here. But, there are re-education camps. There is legislation that embedded within the Affordable Care Act that gives the okay for execution by guillotine. These places are staffed and they are operational. Right now, a few of the Walmarts are housing immigrant children. Oh, what's next? First it's immigrant and children, and then it's who? Now, something I want you to keep in mind if you're a parent. There's a new article over at the Times UK saying that the IQ scores of young people have begun to fall by the equivalent of at least 7 points per generation. Okay, so if that's true, then if you bring your children up correctly and you instill curiosity and the want to learn how everything works, then they're going to have a major advantage over those low IQ morons that are their competition. So, the New World Order is China. And China is like the testing ground for their policies, and whoever's left of us, if we are not fighting them, will be subjugated under a government styled after China. Is that what you want? Or would you rather die on your feet the way you're supposed to die? You're a fucking human. And you should die on your feet instead of on your fucking knees like a bunch of scared bitches. Anyway. Hope everyone has a great night, morning, whatever. Kill the state before the state kills you.